All right, folks, it's officially draft week, and the Atlanta Falcons might just be gearing up to make some serious noise. According to the latest three-round mock draft from Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates, the Falcons could walk into Thursday night with one clear goal in mind: fix the defense and bring some long-term juice to the secondary. And if you're a Falcons fan craving a defensive identity, you might want to pay attention because their projected first pick at number 15, Micah Green, the explosive edge rusher out of Marshall. Now Green's name has been floating around in Falcons mock drafts all offseason, and for good reason. The dude is 6'4", 240 pounds, and plays with a motor that just doesn't stop. No, he's not your old-school 300-pound defensive end, but that's not what Atlanta needs right now. What they need is someone who can bring speed off the edge, set the edge in the run game, and make quarterbacks feel uncomfortable. And that's exactly what Green does. Last season, Micah Green straight up exploded, led the nation with 17 sacks and 23 tackles for loss. He's not just a pass rusher, he's a full-blown problem on all three downs. Atlanta can't afford to draft a one-trick pony at 15. They need someone who can play the run, play the pass, and still be on the field when it matters most. Here's the kicker. He's only got 1 year of starting experience. So yeah, that raises some questions. Was 2024 a breakout or a one-hit wonder? Add in some off-the-field concerns: 2 separate sexual assault accusations, one in high school and one at Virginia, though no charges were ever filed. Coaches at both Virginia and Marshall have backed his character. But let's be real. Any team making a first-round investment has to trust the guy behind the helmet just as much as the talent on the tape. From a football perspective, though, the fit in Atlanta is hard to ignore. Pairing Micah Green with Leonard Floyd and Arnold Ebiketie gives this team a legit pass-rushing rotation, something the Falcons haven't had in what feels like 20 years. And don't forget, Braylon Trice is still around, coming off injury. That's a young, versatile front seven starting to take shape. It's not elite yet, but for the first time in a long time, it might just be headed in the right direction. Now let's roll into the second round, pick number 46, and it looks like the Falcons are keeping that defensive momentum going. According to Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates, the pick here is Benjamin Morrison, the talented cornerback out of Notre Dame. And I'll tell you what, this one's a bit of a swing, but it's got serious upside. Morrison stands 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, and brings a rare mix of athleticism and production when he's healthy. That's the catch: health. He missed 10 games in 2024 with a hip injury, and the year before that, shoulder problems. So yeah, you're not just drafting a corner, you're drafting a medical projection. But man, if Morrison bounces back to what he looked like in 2023, the Falcons could be getting a flat-out steal. Back in that 2023 season, this dude broke up 13 passes, grabbed 3 interceptions, and held opposing receivers to just 279 yards and 3 touchdowns all year. That's not just solid, that's lockdown corner territory. His footwork, hips, and ball skills, they're all smooth as silk. This isn't just an athlete out there winging it. He's polished, instinctive, and knows how to find the football. But again, hip injuries are no joke for corners. That position's all about quick changes of direction, speed, and agility. If a corner can't flip his hips and explode out of a break, it's game over. Still, this is where Atlanta's depth actually helps. With A.J. Terrell and Mike Hughes already holding down starting spots, and guys like Clark Phillips III and Dee Alford rotating in, there's no rush to throw Morrison into the fire. Let him take his time, rehab right, and come back 100% in 2026. This kind of strategy, it's smart. In round 1, you swing for a potential tone setter off the edge with Micah Green. In round 2, you take a shot on a high upside corner who doesn't need to be ready on day 1. It's a sign the Falcons are finally in a spot where they don't have to draft out of desperation. That's a big credit to the front office. Now let's talk about who they passed on at 46. Names like Shamar Stewart, an athletic freak who hasn't quite put it together, Derek Carman from Oregon, even Nick Iannamari, a versatile DB who could have worked well next to Jesse Bates III. And what about Walter Nolan? That dude could have been the next Grady Jarrett. So was Morrison the best call? Only time's going to tell, but the upside is definitely there. And before we wrap this thing up, keep an eye out for what happens if Atlanta trades back into round 3. They don't currently have a pick there, but if they find a partner, watch for names like Jared Wilson if they want to groom a center to replace Drew Dahlman, Alfred Collins, a disruptive DT from Texas, or Jack Sawyer, the high-motor edge rusher from Ohio State. So if you're keeping score at home, Micah Green and Benjamin Morrison walk out of this mock as potential cornerstones for the defense. That's a strong start, man. If things fall into place, both of these picks, Mike Green and Benjamin Morrison, could be home runs. Sure, there's risk involved, no doubt about it. But the upside? Tremendous. These aren't just depth chart fillers. These are guys who can bring juice, versatility, and long-term value to some of the most important spots on the defense. Taking Mike Green at 15? That's a clear signal from the Falcons front office. They're done playing it safe. They're looking for game wreckers, not just guys who'll clock in and do their jobs. Green might not have the resume of a multi-year starter, and yeah, there are those off-field concerns, but his production and raw traits scream difference maker. This is the kind of pick that says, we're swinging for the fences. And Benjamin Morrison in round 2? That's another bet on upside. The Falcons could have easily gone with a safer pick, someone with clean medicals and a longer track record. But they chose elite tape and long-term potential instead. If Morrison's hip holds up, and there's no reason to think it won't with time and good development, he could absolutely become a starting caliber cornerback on a rookie deal. That's huge, especially with A.J. Terrell's next extension about to hit the books. If you can get a starting CB across from him without breaking the bank, you're in a great spot financially. Now zoom out and look at the whole picture. Imagine a defense built around Arnold Ebiketie and Mike Green coming off the edge, Caden Ellis firing from the second level, and Morrison locking down WR2s opposite Terrell. Throw in Jesse Bates III handling the deep third. That's a unit with bite. It's not elite yet, but it's building towards something serious. And hey, this is all before the potential fireworks on draft night. The Falcons don't currently have a third-round pick, but that could change. A trade down from 15? Packaging future assets to get back into round 3? Absolutely on the table. If that happens, names like Jared Wilson, if they want a center, Omar Norman Lott, a pass-rushing DT, or even Jack Sawyer, another Ohio State edge guy, could be in play. All of them would bring even more depth and fire to this roster. Also, let's not forget, the Kirk Cousins factor is still hanging in the background. No updates in this mock, but the bigger picture is crystal clear. Atlanta is building a real defense, whether Cousins is part of the future or not. That's how you buy yourself time and stay competitive. Build the D, build the identity, and give yourself a shot no matter who's under center. So if this mock plays out like this, 2 high upside defenders, long
a clear vision for the future. Falcons fans might finally be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.